What's up, everybody? Your friend Ricky, the Realtor here. Hope all is well, and I hope that this message finds you in great spirits. And Yoda's somewhere around here. He's probably going to be jumping on. He's my half Malamute, half Husky little diva. He might be jumping in here just because he loves the attention. He always likes jumping in the videos. But today we're going to be talking about 5 things that you need to keep in mind to make sure that you're prepared to buy your first home if you're a first-time home buyer or even a seasoned buyer. Just a little refresher. So this is episode 6 of Raw and Uncut Real Estate. We're going to be talking about just making sure that you're prepared to take advantage of any opportunity, that you're prepared to jump in a contract, and that you're a little bit more seasoned, have a little bit more insight into the market before you decide to make a move. So we're going to be talking about 5 things that you're going to pretty much keep handy, keep in your back pockets to make sure that you're on the right path. And we're going to dive right into number 1. So number 1, we're going to be talking about down payment. It's always the biggest topic, the topic everybody wants to know how much you need to save. I would just recommend putting some money aside for a few things. And I say always try to save at least 20% of your check if you can. But the beauty about down payment is that anybody can let you borrow money, which some folks don't know about. A neighbor, family member, friend, anybody, brother, sister, mom, dad, doesn't matter. They can help you buy a house. They can, help you with some down payment if you need it. And just make sure that money's in the bank, that it's not underneath somebody's mattress or anything. You want to make sure that money is seasoned and it's in the bank and it's been consistently in the bank for at least 2 months, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But nonetheless, you also want to consider other costs such as inspections, and also the cost to close, which are your closing costs essentially. And closing costs is a little bit of everything. It's your insurance, first month's payment kind of rolled into that, and also the fees associated with closing on the transaction and transferring ownership from the seller to the buyer. And one thing you really don't have to worry about is if you're working with a real estate agent on the buying end, on the selling side, is that you don't have to pay this agent. The realtor is going to be paid by the seller. So this agent really needs to focus on you and helping you find that right property for you, your family, your partner, making sure that we're working tirelessly to meet your goals. And a little bit more about number 1 about down payment is you just want to have some reserve set aside just for any other associated costs with the transaction. Maybe you want to do some remodeling after you purchase the house, or maybe there's some repairs that you may need to do. So just making sure you have some money set aside as well. And there's other ways that you can subsidize that. What I mean by that is that there's programs like grant programs and government assistance programs. The one I've utilized in the past is CalHAFA with the state of California, and it's a grant program where they let you borrow money, but you have to pay it back essentially, but there's no interest involved. The money just has to be recycled like a fund. So if they let you borrow $10,000 when you go to sell or refinance, you have to make sure that that $10,000 gets given to them first to keep replenishing that fund so that it can be used for other families. And number 2, so we're going to dive into number 2 here, is financial health. So you want to make sure that you're paying your bills on time, that you have great credit, you're establishing credit, and that you're not going to collections or doing anything to hurt your financial health, your financial stability. And also there's other ways that we can check in on that as far as a realtor and a lender standpoint. We're going to dive into those a little bit later, but we can definitely put you in touch with professionals if you need some help with preparing credit, stuff like that. So there's definitely ways to boost your credit, get you right where you need to be a very I would say just to have a very a good loan ability to borrow and have a good loan portfolio to get you the best possible rate, and just make sure that you're getting a great program that's going to benefit you and your family, because you're going to be evaluated on a few things. And so you want to just make sure you have that financial health, you have a good down payment, and that you have the great credit score as well. And that's going to make sure, and debt to income ratios are very important as well. You're going to be looked at a few different things to just make sure that you are pretty much a not a liability, but you, in the eyes of the bank, that you can borrow the money and repay it. And that's more so what the bank is looking for, is that you have a strong portfolio. And so also another thing we really need to dive into and really consider is number 3. And number 3 is job security, making sure that you have a steady job, that you're earning wages, and that those wages are being deposited into the bank. They're going to be looking at that as where that money's going. You want to be able to establish that history. It's great that you have, if you have get a raise, that's going to benefit you immensely. That's going to be able to qualify you for a little bit more. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see huge gaps in employment. Lenders will be able to speak on that a little bit better as well. And you want to make sure that you're just having a steady job, or if you change jobs, that it's in a similar field or that you're getting paid around the same. Lenders will also go over that as well. I'm not a lender, unfortunately. I have great lenders that I work with, and they're the ones that I refer to my clients to make sure that they receive the best possible treatment, and that they're that they're being well taken care of, and that they go above and beyond for my clients. So that's their job. They're going to make sure that you're financially stable and ready to buy a house, and walk you through that entire process. But before we get into that too much further, we're going to go to number 4. And number 4 is you're going to talk to a realtor like myself, or any realtor that you know and trust. I'm happy to refer any other realtor for you. If you're outside of my market, I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I kind of work from the Caldecott Tunnel to Antioch, Pittsburgh area. So I'm on the East Bay, you should say. I don't go through the Caldecott Tunnel as much. I do work in Oakland every once in a while, in Alameda County, but I primarily focus in Contra Costa County. So if there's anybody I can refer you to, I'm happy to. You want to talk to this agent, and the reason why you want to talk to them prior to anybody else is because this real estate agent has a plethora of knowledge, of insight, and also of a huge network that they're going to be able to tap you into to put you in touch with the best lender, like I said that a little bit earlier, that's going to make sure that they go above and beyond for you, explain the entire process, and just make sure that you're ready to buy, and that you understand the numbers, and that you set a budget for yourself. And in addition to all that, the realtor is going to really sit down with you and kind of go through everything. I do a buyer consultation where I sit down with my client, potential client, and go through the entire process with them. I want to make sure that before we go into contract, that they're aware of everything that's going to happen, provide them a calendar, provide them all the information they need, even a copy of the purchase contract, and go over certain things with them that they're going to be seeing. Because a lot of the signatures nowadays, especially with COVID-19, we have a lot of digital signatures and a lot of things that we do digitally. So just want to make sure that up front, now that we're doing more virtual and we're stepping back from face-to-face interactions, doing a lot of virtual buyer consultations, I can send a lot of that stuff to you virtually or electronically as well, so that you have everything in front of you, and we're able to go through the process and make sure that you're extremely comfortable on what's going to happen, that you know exactly what's going to happen, that we have a timeline set for you. And then number 5 is the most important, because they're the ones that are going to get you in the door. I'm going to make sure that that you close on that transaction. It's extremely smooth, that we do inspections, and we make sure that the house is perfect and that makes sense for you and your family. But number 5 is the most important, because you're going to be talking to a lender. Number 5 is lenders. So we're going to put you in touch with a lender that's going to make sure that we're going to go through your entire finances. And that's why you want to make sure that you trust this person, you can talk to them, and that at the end of the day you feel very comfortable sharing financial information that's confidential to you and your family on income, on expenses, on credit history, taxes. The most important one obviously is also credit score as well, but they're all equally important in the fact that you are displaying your ability to borrow, once again, to the banks that they're going to be shopping for you to get you the best rate and loan program that fits you and your budget. So that's the most important, is that we put you in touch with somebody that's going to work for you, as well as myself. I'm going to be working for you the entire time to make sure that we go above and beyond for you, make sure that we deliver on this, one of the biggest investments that you'll ever make, and that we reach your goals at the end of the day, and you feel extremely comfortable and happy going home to that house every single day. So those are 5 ways that you need to keep in your mind, consider, keep in your back pocket, etc., to keep you on track to buy your home, to make sure that you become a homeowner, or become maybe a second-time homeowner, or even an investor. We're happy to help you. Anything that we can do. My name is Ricky J. Alvarez with Boulevard Real Estate here in Walnut Creek. I work the entire Contra Costa and Alameda County, some areas as well, and I'd love to help you, put you in touch with a lender, make sure that you're ready to go to execute whenever you're ready for that, to take advantage of this market and get into an opportunity that's going to be beneficial for you, your family, your partner, and etc. So once again, Ricky J. Alvarez, Boulevard Real Estate, and also known as Ricky the Realtor. Thank you guys so very much. We'll talk to you soon. Take care and have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.